This offer hack instantly makes any coaching offer way more profitable. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through it and I'm going to show you how to get a free copy of it. And if you're new to the channel and you have no clue who this handsome gentleman is in front of you, my name is John Whiting. I have scaled 3 online businesses past 7 figures. I sold one of them in 2019, and I've worked with over 1,000 online coaches to scale to 50 to 100K a month in take-home profit, and then take that profit and turn it into actual wealth in the bank account, and do that with way less stress and achieve the freedom that you set out to achieve in the first place. So if you want more videos to help you scale in a way that doesn't completely suck, check out the rest of the channel. Okay, before we walk through the offer optimizer, what I want to do is make sure that we're on the same page regarding offer structure. So the whole goal of an online coaching business is to take the disorganized skills and stuff that we know, take the people with a problem that our skills and stuff that we know can solve, put it into an organized, repeatable process, as in phase 1, we're going to do this. Phase 2, we're going to do that. Phase 3, we're going to do that. And sell it for some high ticket price, right? So 3,000 to 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, whatever makes sense based on your market. That turns the stuff that we know into a happier, richer you. And it turns the people with problems into people with no problems. Now, if you're watching this, you probably already knew that. You probably already have an offer that's done decent. You probably already have some happy people with a solved problem. They've said thank you, they gave you money. Hooray, hurrah, congratulations. And you might have even started to kind of scale up to the full model of this, which here's basically the org chart, is you as the CEO are running this whole jam. So we have organized, repeatable processes for everything. And that is starting by taking content like this video that you're watching right now, which is a long form video. And then you basically end up in the top of the funnel. And this can either be like a lead magnet or a front end offer. For example, my front end offer that I run traffic to is the 7-Figure Mind Method book that you can get, link in the description, and basically just helps you stay calm, even keel, not get thrown off track. Even with the best offer, if you can't manage your emotions, you ain't gonna be able to manage an offer, let alone the money that comes with it, the responsibility, the team leadership, all that stuff. So if you want to clear all of the mental shit, go ahead, grab that book. It's $7, or don't. How's that for an offer? Not bad. All right, let's get back to the structure here. So that would be an organized, repeatable process that I've put together in this book to get somebody from stressed, anxious, feeling heavy, overwhelmed, into calm, light, free. And we have tons of case studies of people that we've helped do that, including some of the biggest names in the industry. But that's not what this video is about, just giving you context of what is a front-end offer designed to do. It's designed to get people in our universe so they get to this aware stage. And so this whole funnel should also be an organized, repeatable process to get people from aware to interested, to have a conversation. If you book calls still, book them on a call, close them on your core offer. Now, we don't book calls anymore. We don't run that. I actually created a whole separate video on this channel about how we did 355,000 in 45 days with no sales calls, that you can watch with a whole breakdown on kind of how we do that after you watch this video. And between us, in the last 60 days, we're just shy of $600,000 with no sales calls. So might be worth checking it out. Now, as part of that, you need a good offer to make that happen. And you need the right people in that good offer to make that happen. So that's what we're going to cover in the rest of this video. All right, back to repeatable processes. So we at Scale have a front end offer, a process to convert those people into our core offer, and then from there we convert them into a back end offer as a general idea. And the positions that handle these stages is we have ads and content, right? So we have ads, content creator, setter, closer, if you still do that, and fulfillment is the big general idea. And the idea is to get to where you're only doing ads and or content, and only doing a few hours of fulfillment every single week. And ideally, this middle section here isn't handled by human beings. Ideally, it's handled by content and a great offer. So how in the world do we optimize our offer to only attract the right people? Let's dive into that. And just so you're fully aware of where exactly this offer optimizer fits within at least our model of how we get online coaches to 50 to 100K a month in profit, is there's this 7-part protocol. And we kind of use this analogy. I have other videos on the channel of how everything that we do in our business is kind of like going on a road trip. So think of it like a map. We first, on a road trip, establish where we are, where we want to go, reverse engineer everything, and then we just follow that blue line. And the components of this are the destination where we're going, and that is the lifestyle that we want to live, how much it's going to cost to live that lifestyle into perpetuity, and how much wealth do we need to accumulate to live that lifestyle into perpetuity, even if our coaching business completely shits the bed. And as part of that, we need to know why we're going there. So where we're going and why. And then the vehicle, which is your business, and that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. There's the GPS, which is your tracking system, giving you turn-by-turn directions. And for context, the GPS system, so to speak, that we set our clients up on is called Teddy, and it just puts all your data in one dashboard for ads, call booking, sales, finances, all this stuff. Has AI calculators that you just plug in your goal, and it tells you, inverse engineers pretty much everything that you need to hit in order to make that happen. You can check that out in the description. But then we have the speed, which is how much are you making every single month. Then we have the fuel efficiency, which is your profit margin and how much effort it takes to actually generate that income. And then the driver, which is your mental performance, which is why we have this book to make sure that you, the driver, stay effectively sober. And then AAA, which is your lifeline. So when we have all of those components, that's what we call our bulletproof protocol. So in this video, we're going to be focusing on a part of the vehicle, which is optimizing your offer. All right, so this is what we have our clients go through, and we call it the offer optimizer. And all they do is fill in the gray cells. And this is important to use only the words of your target avatar. One of my mentors is Keith Cunningham. He's the rich dad from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he has a couple of concepts that really stuck with me. And the first thing is business is really simple. All we got to do in business is find out what they want, meaning our customers, our prospects. Go out and get it and give it to them. But most people are trying to craft something without first finding out what their target audience wants and then just give it to them. So I'm really, really big on surveys. I survey at almost every opportunity that I possibly can. And I started doing this back before I even started my first online business, which was an agency in 2017 after buying Mr. Tai Lopez's SMMA program. And I hope he fares decently in his recent $112 million SEC situation because he's really helped me out a lot. And anyway, I digress. I took Keith Cunningham's advice and I started surveying. And one of the things that I learned to do was basically take our target audience's words and then regurgitate them back to them. And one of the best surveys that you can possibly do when you're creating anything is a really simple one. And that is send this out to your existing list, put it in like a Jot form or type form or Google form or something like that, and say name, email, phone. Then we want a few qualifying questions like what is your business type? If you sell to business people or whatever, then what is your revenue level? That's what we would do because we only want to sort and filter the replies based on qualified responses. I don't want to optimize my copy and my positioning for people that aren't qualified. So for example, to work with us, we only work with online coaches that are doing at least 20K a month, already have a proven offer. They already have successful clients and they're not a pain in the ass. They don't need the hand holding, the basics. And so this offer optimizer, to be very clear, is built for online coaches that are doing at least 20K a month that already have successful clients. And we're going to optimize for the most successful. So it might be helpful for you if you're brand new, just starting out, but it will be most helpful for you if you already have some baller clients. So the next parts of this survey is after we've gotten their qualifications, and those will be in like radio button format. So the next questions we want to ask here is going to be long form text. This is really important. We want the words that they're going to type into their keyboard. And we're going to say, when it comes to big goal you want, what are your biggest goals, right? So for me, it's when it comes to scaling your online coaching business, what are your biggest goals? And then they will type words. Then when it comes to scaling your online coaching business, what are your biggest challenges? They're going to type that. And then the third question is, what are the top 3 things that you want to learn as it relates to scaling your online coaching business? They're going to type words. And you can easily do this with any sort of a promotion. Say, hey, I'm working on a thing to help online coaches scale their online coaching business to 7 figures, but I want to make it really good and I want to make it custom tailored to you. So can you do me a favor and fill out this survey? And when you do, you're going to get this discount, or you're going to get priority access, or you're going to get this bonus, whatever it is, some incentive. Then they fill fill it out. You're going to take all of their responses, throw it in ChatGPT, and I'll tell you what to do with that in just a second. But let's jump back into this offer optimizer here now that you have context. All right, so again, we want their words, but whose words? Do we want the collective? That's going to be helpful. We want to do that on an ongoing basis. Every time you create something, you want to survey for sure. But the real good shit comes from optimizing your offer like this. We want to pick who is our number one best client ever. And that is the client that has the best results. They have the highest lifetime value, meaning they've paid you the most money. You'd hang out with them for free and they do what you tell them to do. That's what we've defined as our perfect client. And so for me, that client, although I have a lot of really, really great clients, the one that fits all four of those bubbles is Justin Saunders. And we took Justin from 18K a month to over 400K a month, from about 20 grand in his bank account to now he's a liquid millionaire, and we do hang out for free. So we then want to take that one person. This whole thing is going to be optimized around this one person, not the collective. Most coaches are going way too broad and generic with their messaging, and especially now with how the algorithms work, you want it to optimize for the very hyper-specific best person, not just a person who would buy your stuff. Because I'm sure if you're watching this, you've had some clients that paid you money, but you didn't like them necessarily, or they didn't get the best results, or you wouldn't hang out with them for free, or they didn't do their part. What makes this whole thing work and why this is so profitable is because if you only get perfect fit clients, they require less CSMs, client success managers, they require less hand-holding, less fulfillment. And so if you very obviously only optimize your business for the perfect client that comes in, pays in full, follows the directions, they don't need a whole lot of support. And that means you don't need to pay a whole lot of people. And it means you don't have the emotional drain of dealing with people that you'd rather not deal with. And so the first version of this business called Bulletproof Entrepreneur that I run, we scaled it to over 400K a month. We had a team of 23 people, setters, closers, the whole bit, well over 600 clients. And it got to the point to where I really kind of didn't like it anymore. And there was one day, I think it was May 31st of 2023, where we fired literally half the company in a day. And then I just started optimizing my business around my perfect client. And now we have a team of me, a virtual assistant, occasionally my wife to interface with clients like at events. So for example, in November 6th through 8th, we're having our Q4 Mastermind. We got Eli Wild coming, Elliot Hulse coming, Justin Saunders coming. This handsome gentleman's gonna be hosting. And my wife's gonna be acting as kind of a concierge type person because my VA isn't coming. He's in the Philippines, but shout out, appreciate you, bro. But my clients are great. They don't need hand holding. And so I don't need a whole lot of staff. I don't need any salespeople or setters because my ideal clients, the people that come in, get the best results, they've already watched videos like this that I've made. They've watched the rest of my YouTube channel. They might have bought and read my book. They might have gotten some good word of mouth from somebody else. They might have seen my retargeting ads. They've gotten to spend the 7 hours with me that is required to get somebody warmed up enough to give you money. And it's honestly the best thing ever. I only work with people that I like, and we're way more profitable and I have way more control than I've ever had. I don't have to cater to setters or salespeople or closers and take people just so that, you know, closers can hit their commission goals and work with people that I'd rather not. I can turn up or down ad spend as I please. I can turn stuff off as I please, and nobody gets pissed off in terms of a team member and making sure that they're able to hit their goals and stuff. Obviously, this isn't, you know, the billion-dollar formula, but all I'm trying to do is make a couple $100,000 per month after tax in a way that I like, that's sustainable, and it checks all the boxes that I'm trying to check. So that starts with, who are we marketing to? So we got to know who the heck that person is. And so we need to market to, if I could get 100 Justin Saunders types, if I could just clone him out 100 times, it would be an absolute dream. And that's what we've started to do inside our Bulletproof Boardroom, which is just our advisory for online coaches. And we work on all 7 parts of that protocol. And the goal is a business that runs itself, peace of mind every day, and wealth growing every single month. And it's great. They come in with the right content, context, require little to no personal time from me because we're so leveraged and efficient. All we do is make data-driven decisions. And all of this has been reverse engineered around Justin Saunders' original onboarding form from 4 years ago. And so when you choose your one client that has the best results, highest LTV, follows directions, you'd hang out with them for free, go into call transcripts, chat back and forthy things in the DMs, surveys, onboarding forms, and you're going to want to craft everything in this offer optimizer around their words that they said when they were at point A in the undesired situation. When they first came to you, then you took them through your process and they arrived at point B over a period of time, right? You want to take their words that they were talking about right here and repeat them back to them, all right? So once we've labeled who is that person, not people, not multiples. Everybody wants to go multiples here. No, one person. And then how would they identify? So this market needs to be in high demand. They need to have the ability to pay. It's growing and it's easy to target. So online coaches doing at least 20K a month. Well, it's certainly a growing market. You're certainly easy to target. You're watching this video right now. And if you're already doing at least 20K a month, you have the ability to pay. And most likely you've bought a bunch of programs and shit that suck. And you want to basically build for long-term sustainable success. That's why people come to us, is because there's high demand for actually really good advisories that run their shit like adults, like professionals, in a way that's actually effective. And so that would be the perfect market. So online coaches doing at least 20K a month with a proven offer, already have successful clients, but kind of hit plateaus. And we have people that come to us anywhere from 20K a month all the way up to largest client does about 2 million a month, just for context. And the reason that we're able to work with that spectrum is because we operate based on fundamental principles and data-driven decisions. And when you know how to read and make decisions based on data, the number size doesn't really matter because all the same principles remain the same. So once we've identified who's the one person and how would they identify, now we're going to go down here and we're going to start with these colored ones. So we want to put in what is their big desire. So this is for my offer, just as an example, but what do they want in their words, in 4 words max? So 7-figure freedom, great. And then we'd ask them, well, what are the top 3 main things that are keeping you from 7-figure freedom? Oh, I just have no time right now to do all the things that I know I should be doing. I'm really stressed out because of my team, my clients. I have all these responsibilities. We've scaled to an inefficient, bloated piece of shit and I hate it. And as a result, we have inconsistent profit. Cool. So we're just going to flip those. Cool. What do you want instead of no time? And by the way, 6 words max here, 3 words max here, 4 words max here. We want them punchy, concise. So this is where a business that runs on autopilot, right? That solves the time problem. Peace of mind every day. That solves the stress problem. Wealth growing every month. That solves the inconsistent profit problem. Then we say, well, how do we have a business that runs on autopilot? Well, first we need to free up your time with the time maximizer. And the outcome of that is we free up 5 to 10 hours a week so you can do whatever you want instead of putting out fires and babysitting a team, right? So all of these benefits of the outcomes and the mechanisms and all this stuff flows all the way back to getting the big desire here. You following me? Let me know if this makes sense. So then we're going to simplify and automate with our freedom framework. So this offer optimizer is one of our freedom frameworks. So we're going to optimize your offer, sales, marketing, and operations so that you have less fire, more profit instead of constantly grinding and hustling. So when you're talking to the right person, you don't have clients that create fires. If you tell those people to fuck off in your marketing, they don't show up and try to buy your shit. It's amazing, okay? So that's what we need to do here is we're going to only optimize for perfect fits, right? That's huge. That's going to free up tons of your time because all of your time right now that is being sucked up by stuff is probably due to problems that stem from having some clients at least that aren't great fits. And so then on the peace of mind everyday side, we need to clarify where are we going and why with the clear coach protocol so that you can have a deep rooted towards motivation instead of being pain motivated or away from motivated so that you can make consistent progress and fulfillment instead of being on the income and emotional roller roller coaster. If any of this is resonating, it's because I went through and did this tool based on Justin Saunders' OG onboarding form, like you should probably do. I'll tell you how to get this in just a second. Then clear the mental trash with the Bulletproof Mind system. And that first part of the Bulletproof Mind system is the 7-Figure Mind Method book, so that you can stay focused, calm, and on track no matter what happens, and enjoy the journey instead of being enslaved by your business. Because how many people do we know or have we heard of that made a lot of money and they're not happy? An uncomfortable amount. So we want to be able to enjoy the stuff that we get and the goals that we accomplish, and we need to clear all of the mental trash around that, so that not only will that allow us to make more money, but the money that we do make will be able to actually enjoy it. Then we want to have our wealth growing every month. So in order to do that, we need to master our numbers with what we call our profit GPS and Teddy and financial tracking systems, so that we can make efficient, data-driven, not feeling-driven decisions, which is what most people do. Most online coaches just feel their way forward and they guess, and they have incomplete bullshit data. Or even if they do have complete data, it's not visualized properly with the ability to drill down into day, week, month, quarter, and year on every KPI, so that we can spot trends and make decisions based on data. And that way, all we got to do is follow the rules of what do we do when stats are up, flat, or down in given areas. And we know how to diagnose and solve problems really quick, which is really efficient, which is why my clients don't require a whole lot of fulfillment time, is because we're making data-driven decisions and it's very, very leveraged. Do you see how this is building a client infrastructure that allows the clients to be self-sufficient, attracts only the clients who resonate with this, and repels everybody else? This is what you need to do for your coaching business. Otherwise, you're going to keep attracting bad fits, and then you're going to keep throwing people and money at the problem and hoping that it gets solved. And it won't. All it's going to do is drain your profit if you're not already experiencing that. And so once we make decisions based on data, now we have clarity, control, and predictability, so that we can stop guessing and hoping. And finally, we're going to automate our wealth with what we call our Wealthy Coach protocol. And that is automated transfers, account structures, making sure all of that is set up, so that we just set up a few automations that allow our wealth to grow and compound every single month, instead of constantly hoping that there's enough in the account to cover payroll and the surprise tax bills and shit. So this was all built based on Saunders' original onboarding form. And that's why I only attract great clients like him. All right, so there's 2 more pages to this. First page is about you and your company, and the next one is going to be the avatar motivations. So about you and your company, we want to ask ourselves some sort of a primary question. So this is kind of like the North Star question of your company. And so for us, is what does the data say to do? Most coaches, when they come to me, they're like, I feel like I should do this. And I'm like, I don't give a shit about how you feel right now. What does the data say to do? Let's look at the data. Because many times what you feel like needs to be done and what the data says actually needs to be done and where to focus are hilariously wrong. So then, what do you want to be known for? What are you known for? We're known for helping elite online coaches scale without stress. And what is your mission? And all of this, by the way, is communicated in your content. This is the backbone of your content. So every time I make a piece of content, I review this document and I know who I'm talking to. I'm only talking to Justin 4 years ago. Does that make sense? I'm only talking to that one person. It's really challenging to talk to lots of people broadly, which is why you're probably struggling to attract good fits, is because you're talking to too broad of a market. But if you're talking to the right people in the right way with the right language, not only can you lead with their language up here, but we can say, hey, look, I'm on a mission to free successful coaches from the chaos trap by teaching them how to make data-driven decisions that build real wealth and give them their life back. So if that sounds like you, then you stumbled across the right channel. And so my vision for what that looks like is I can communicate this to you, is a no BS boardroom of elite data-driven coaches committed to building unshakable wealth, achieving freedom, and a life that they actually love. So that's my vision, and I communicate that to you. And if you're like, yo, that sounds fucking legit, then you can see the details of what it looks like to work with us if you just find me on Instagram and DM me the word bulletproof, and it'll just send you all the details of what it looks like to work with us, including pricing and all that stuff. And again, I don't have any setters or closers or anything in there. It's just me, and you can ask me whatever you want. And here's another thing on that. People are like, how do you manage all your DMs? Well, first of all, in my content, I only talk to people like you who are probably good fits. If you're watching this far, which means we'd probably get along, which means I don't mind talking to you in my DMs. And you'll see if you go through that ManyChat sequence that I do have a qualification process to where it pre-qualifies everybody before they even actually get to me. And even then, all of my systems and videos and content around this makes it to where they don't have a whole lot of questions. And usually they just go to the offer page, and if they want to become a client, they just apply. And then I review applications when I open seats and I say, I'm selecting you. And that's how I get clients. And I made a whole video on this called The New Way to Get Coaching Clients in 2026. Don't sell, select. That's how I select clients. And so if I share with you why I'm doing it, what my vision is, so why I'm doing this is I believe that you deserve to get everything that you want in life. As a coach with knowledge and skills, you're helping people get what they want. I believe that you deserve to get everything that you want. But I only work with people who value personal responsibility, brutal honesty, that want to be data-driven, that want to have systems over tactics, and want to build long-term wealth over short-term revenue. I don't work with people who are in dire straits, who are afraid to actually look at reality, who say, I'm not a numbers person. There's no such thing as a numbers person. You live on a financial planet. Things you want to do cost money. Money is denominated in numbers. And so if you want more money and you're not a numbers person, you might as well quit. See? No bullshit. So you want to have like, what is your main argument? What is your thesis? So ours is that knowledge, the what to do's, the strategies and the tactics get you to 6 figures, even maybe 7 figures. But that's where you're grinding, you're firefighting, maybe you're starting to burn out. And the reason is because you just keep applying knowledge without having the wisdom, which is how to think and make decisions and when to apply and not apply what knowledge. That's what gets you to 7-figure freedom. One of my favorite quotes, if you've been following me, you know, is knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit and wisdom is knowing not to use it in a fruit salad. So you can have knowledge, but if you don't have the wisdom to know that this isn't one of those times to apply that knowledge, you're gonna really have a tough time, because the only way forward from there is guessing. So we need to stop guessing. We need to start knowing. To change reality, we have to face reality. And a lot of times the first part of our clients' journeys with us is relatively painful because they've been living in delusion for so long that they've convinced themselves that things are better than they are. They want to do everything fast as hell. And one thing that I've learned is things will die as fast as they grow. So if you grow really fast, there's a high chance that your business will die really fast. And I don't want that to happen to you. And gone are the days where I don't set proper expectations for clients. Making millions of dollars is fucking challenging, okay? If it was easy, everybody would do it. So the first part of our client journey, which I'm starting with this video right here with you, if you're like, oh man, maybe I should work with this guy. It's like, well, maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. Do you have the gumption to look at reality, not what you hope reality is? There's probably a big difference if you're stuck right now. I don't care if you're stuck at $500,000 a month. You're probably living in some sort of a delusion, and it's probably going to be painful up until and especially at the moment where you're like, ah, shit, you're right. It's okay, but we got to get you to that point sooner rather than later, because if it's later, you're just going to be stuck until you have that, shit point. You just are. So sorry, not sorry. That's just how it's fucking done. All right. And the faster you understand that, the faster we can move forward. Or just keep doing whatever the fuck it is that you're doing. This is a free YouTube video. Who the fuck am I to be preaching? Oh yeah, I know what dude I am. I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. If you get that movie reference, let me know in the comments. We want to let people know, are we credible? I guess that's a decent parlay from my last point, is who are you? Well, I'm the guy who's coached some of the biggest names in the industry, helped them hit new records, and made over $10 million and built a multi-million-dollar net worth and figured some shit out along the way. Maybe that's not enough credibility for you, in which case, awesome sauce. I don't really care. Probably not a fit. By the way, side note lesson, you can't say the right things to the wrong people, and you can't say the wrong things to the right people. So if you're the right person to work with me, it won't matter what the fuck I say. You're gonna be like, I like this guy. And if you're the wrong person, it won't matter matter what I say, you're going to be like, fuck this guy. Gotta love it. So the more upfront we are in qualifying people in content like this, and we know who we're talking to, the more we can repel the people that we don't want by saying the shit that I've said and by sharing what I'm sharing with you on this doc right here. We want to share our principles about tracking and fundamentals and financial IQ, as well as we are infinitely powerful energy, spiritual beings. The mind is the obstacle, and that's why I wrote this fucking book, so that you can stop being victim to your own mind and start demonstrating the power that you know you have inside you. That's my whole fucking jam here. Okay, so we want to share people. What are we for? What are we against? So that we can only attract perfect fits. And if you're still watching at this point, there's a high probability there's a decent fit here, or you have nothing better to do with your time. Finally, this last page here, avatar motivations. There's a little bit of a spectrum here. We have now, which is the timeline of now today, and then there's future. So what do they want today? What are they frustrated about today? And then if those frustrations continue, what are they afraid is going to happen tomorrow? And what do they aspire to? And so when we're creating sales collateral and shit, we want to make sure that we're talking to, hey, do you want this thing today? Are you frustrated about this thing today? So a frustration for you today is your offer, and you want more clients probably, and you want to grow faster today so that eventually you can become a liquid millionaire and have 50 to 200K in monthly profit and help thousands of people, be elite, all that stuff. Those are all aspirations. But first we got to fix the offer, and that's why this video is about fixing your offer today so that we can set you up to avoid these fears for tomorrow and set you up to get these aspirations for tomorrow. Yay. So this is basically your answer key to writing content, to sales letters, all that stuff. This is the answer key. It's like, if you're gonna go take a test, you have two options. You can study real hard, you can guess, and you can spend hours and hours and hours, or you can just go to the teacher and get the answer key and copy the answers. This is the answer key to attracting your perfect ideal client. You're like, well, what about all the people that I'm excluding? Well, you need to go through the 7-figure mind method and clear the fear of excluding people and losing out on business so that your emotions aren't running the fucking show anymore. Because that thought right there is keeping you stuck and fucked, which is why there is a mind part of this protocol. And it's not just about the vehicle, because you probably knew half the shit that I was just talking about, but you have not executed on it because your mind is in the way, and you probably don't know your numbers, and you probably don't have an advisor like me to call you out on your shit. And anybody that you've hired as an advisor who doesn't call you out on your shit and answers questions based on what you think you want to ask is doing you a massive disservice. When my clients come to me, they're like, hey, I got a question on X. And I'm like, fuck your question on X. Let's look at what the data says to do. And 99 times out of 100, they come to me with the wrong fucking question, which is why I get paid what I get paid, is to ask the right questions. As Tony Robbins said, the quality of our life is determined by the quality of our questions. And right now, if your life is not of the quality that you want, it's because you're asking the wrong questions. And if you go to an advisor or a coach or a mentor and you're like, hey, I got a question, and they're not like, hey, wrong fucking question, they're just basically a glorified chat GPT that's going to feed into your confirmation bias. Most likely the thing that you think you need to work on right now is not the thing that you actually need to fucking work on right now. That's why people come to me, is we diagnose the actual real root problem. And so if you're not ready for that, don't fucking come to me. If you're not ready and you want to continue to live in the delusion that you think you know what you're doing or something like that, continue to live there by all means. This is a free fucking YouTube video. All right, but I digress. I'm done being a bit of a dick in this video. If you want this offer optimizer, go to my Instagram, and if you just DM me the word offer one, all one word, then, well, you'll get this first message here, and you'll tap yes, and it'll send you a copy of this offer optimizer here. And if you want me to personally fix your offer for you, you can DM me the word bulletproof. and see all the details of what it looks like to work with me. I work with all of my boardroom members one-on-one. They all have one-on-one access to me. And you're like, John, how do you manage all these people one-on-one? It's like, the funny thing is, what I've learned about people like you is that you don't actually want to book a one-on-one. You just want the ability to book a one-on-one. I can count on one hand the amount of one-on-ones after our client's first initiation call that have been booked with me this year. And that's what happens when you get the right people with the right offer, with the right language, and you share it in the right way. But if you want to go a little bit slower and kind of virtually date with me, I'm married, relax. I meant like build rapport and shit. You can check out the rest of this channel. I would recommend any of these videos because they're all fucking amazing. Oh, side note, you see how they all have like low view counts? Well, guess what? The quality of those views is really high because I've generated over $550,000 in the last 60 days on just these little measly view counts. That's what happens when you talk to the right people. Your costs on your ads are probably gonna go up. Your views on your content are probably gonna go down, but the quality of people that you're gonna get is going to be huge, huge. It's gonna be huge. So if you want huge, bigly qualities, get the offer optimizer and check out how to use that with this next video that I've got lined up for you right here on how I did 355,000 in 45 days with no sales calls using that offer optimizer. I will see you in that one. Appreciate you. Take care.